Hi, you guys. Today we are talking about different types of comparison problems using multiplication. And the strategy in particular that we're talking about is using models and using diagrams. And so one of these diagrams is called a tape diagram. And if you've never heard of a tape diagram before, it's just a very visual way of drawing out each part of the problem. And hopefully we can see how the parts kind of fit together to turn into a multiplication sentence. And so I'm going to be showing you the three different types of problems that we're going to be seeing. So the first one says, last month, Kim trained 3 times as many dogs as cats. If the total number of cats and dogs she trained last month is 28, how many cats did Kim train? And so because this is a comparison problem right away, I notice that I am going to be comparing dogs and cats. And so in my model, I'm going to label one space as dogs, one space as cats. And so the problem, the first sentence says, Kim trained 3 times as many dogs as cats. So to show that, a tape diagram uses rectangles. And so to show 3 times as many dogs, I'm going to use 3 rectangles. And that represents my 3 times as many dogs. The cats, though, is just one box. The second sentence then tells us the total number of cats and dogs together is 28. And so because I'm talking about cats and dogs all together, I'm going to show that in all of my boxes together will equal 28. And so right now, that's all the information that is given. My question that I'm answering eventually is how many cats did Kim train? I don't know that yet though, and so first you need to figure out how much each box itself is worth in the tape diagram. I don't know exactly how many dogs she trained, and I don't know exactly how many cats. The only thing I know is that altogether it was 28. And so I'm using an n, which is a variable that stands for something I don't know. I don't know how many dogs, I don't know how many cats, and I don't know what each individual box stands for. And so to solve this, the multiplication problem that I'm going to use, I know that altogether it's going to equal 28. And then the next part is putting your tape diagram together into a multiplication sentence. All together, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes, so I know I'm multiplying by 4. The only other thing I need now is 4 times what is 28. Right now, since I don't know that, I'm using an n. So the multiplication sentence is 4 times n equals 28. So right now think 4 times what is 28, and you should, hopefully, know that 4 times 7 is 28. So that tells me that the letter n, my missing number, was 7. So if I look back in the diagram, each one of these boxes is worth 7. And now you can answer your question. The question said, how many cats did Kim train? So I looked to the row for cats, and since there's only one box, and one box is equal to 7, my final answer is 7 cats. The other type of problem, there are 2 more, but the next type is the same kind of thing. We're comparing 2 different things. It says Stacy made a necklace using 4 times as many blue beads as red beads. She used a total of 40 beads. How many blue beads did Stacy use? So right now I'm comparing blue beads and I'm comparing red beads. So it says I used 4 times as many blue beads. So I'm going to represent that with 4 boxes in my tape diagram, 1 for red. The total is 40, so red and blue together will equal 40. That's all the information I know, so again, I'm going to label the unknown information as n. It's like a placeholder, you don't know the answer yet. So now I need a multiplication sentence. So I know I'm going to be multiplying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because there are 5 boxes total. So I'm going to have to think 5 times what, or 5 times n. Altogether, it will equal 40. So right now, think in your head, 5 times what number is 40? You should figure out that 5 times 8 equals 40. So now I know that n is equal to 40. So I can go back and label all the n's now as equaling 8. Since this row has 4 boxes, I know that it's worth 4 eighths. The red only has 1, so I know right now that there are 8 red beads, but the question says how many blue beads are there? Since there are 4 eighths in line for blue beads, my multiplication sentence was going to be 8 times 4 equals something, and that's going to be my answer. I know that 8 times 4 is 32, so I know that there are 32 blue beads. And that's the final answer. The last type of problem is the same thing, we're just taking it one step farther. So this one says, Carlita saw 5 times as many robins as cardinals while bird watching. She saw a total of 24 birds. How many more robins did she see than cardinals? So I'm comparing robins and cardinals. She saw 5 times as many robins, so that's going to be 5 boxes. One box for cardinals. I saw a total of 24 birds. All together, this is equaling 24. I don't know anything else, so my missing numbers right now are going to be represented by an n. And then the multiplication sentence that I'm going to be using, there are altogether 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes. So I know my sentence is going to be 6 times n, 6 times something equals 24. Using my math facts, I know that 6 times 4 is equal to 24. So I know now that each one of my boxes in the tape diagram have to be equal to 4. My question though says, how many more robins did she see than cardinals? This right here, how many more, that's a key phrase for subtraction. To find out how many more cardinals there are than robins, you need to subtract the total number of robins from the total number of cardinals. And so if you look at my tape diagram, I know that there were only 4 cardinals because there's literally only one box representing cardinals. However, for robins, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. So use a math fact here. 5 boxes times 4 each will equal 20. So I know that there are 20 robins. The question is how many more robins than cardinals? If you do 20 minus 4, you might be able to do that in your head. If not, do some subtraction or use your fingers. 10 minus 4 is 6. 1 minus nothing is 16. So my final answer is that there were 16 more robins than cardinals. Alright, I think that's it for me today. I hope that this video was helpful. Please let me know if you have any additional questions. Thanks!